Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sonic Multiverse. This is the final installment of our adaptation of Team Sonic Racing for What If Tails Became Infinite. If you haven't seen those parts yet, I'd recommend watching them, because I will be going into this video with the assumption that you understand where the story is so far. But without further delay, let's jump right in. Night was beginning to fall on Angel Island as three heroes rolled up nearby the bottom of Red Mountain. They got out of their vehicles. Cream kept close to Sonic and Knuckles as they approached the mountain. Just then, a robotic duplicate of Dr. Eggman appeared once more.
Glad to see you made it, Sonic. I see you brought the Knucklehead and... Cream? I guess you do need a new little sidekick now, don't you?
Sonic glared at the machine. It was clear Eggman touched a nerve. Keep talking, Doc. Just means I'll get up there and start kicking your butt all the sooner.
Oh, I am scared. Let me make it easier for you. Leave the cars. You won't need them for the final challenge.
With that, Team Hero made their way to Red Mountain. The challenge would most likely be held in Eggman's old base of operations, so they had to find the entrance. It had been a while, but Sonic did remember where it was, and eventually they made their way into the deep caverns of Red Mountain. Apart from a few badniks, there was very little sign of Dr. Eggman, apart from what was already there from Sonic's adventure all those years ago. So they would have to search for where the Mad Doctor could be. As the group searched, something caught Cream's attention. Mr. Knuckles? Who are they? Cream gestured over to a pair of spirits locked behind a steel gate. Knuckles was surprisingly upfront about what they were. They were prisoners of war, Cream. Prisoners of the Echidna tribe that never left. Cream looked sorrowfully at the prisoners. Sonic gave Knuckles a death glare. Great going, Knucklehead. Why would you tell her that? Oh, now you want to protect her, Sonic? Besides, letting her know won't change anything. We can't help them. As the old rivals continued to bicker, Cream continued searching and came across a wisp capsule. There was a little burst wisp within it, cowering. Did mean old Mr. Eggman leave you here? The creature nodded. Cream looked around. I can't help a lot of people here, but at least I can help you. She quickly burst open the capsule, freeing the wisp. As the red wisp joyfully flew around, Cheese the Chow flew alongside it. Though the pair of species had completely different dialects, it seemed as if they could strangely understand each other. The burst was pointed over to a pile of rocks, where there was another wisp hiding. Cream tried to calm down the little critter. Don't worry there. Everything's all right. You can come out. But the timid cyan wisp simply shook its head violently and pointed up, revealing why it was hiding. Cream looked up. At first, she didn't see anything, but then emerging from the shadows came a large object with multiple limbs. Mr. Sonic? Mr. Knuckles? The pair heard Cream and quickly looked up. A giant, arachnid-themed mech suit began to crawl down from the caves above. This was the Egg Tarantula, a new creation by Dr. Eggman. The glass on the cockpit was too dense to see through, but a voice rung out all the same.
Time for a change of pace. Get a load of this.
The Egg Tarantula prepared for combat. An unusually vicious smirk emerged on Sonic's face. All right, Eggman, let's tussle. Before Cream or Knuckles could even get involved, Sonic charged the tarantula. He had waited long enough for this. He charged up a spin attack and rammed into the legs of the beast. He began ricocheting from leg to leg until eventually the mech suit fell onto its back. That's for letting the Deadly Six drain the world of its energy. Sonic leaped into the air, charging up a mid-air spin dash and charging for the core, slamming into it at high speed. That one's for everyone you've ever hurt. The egg tarantula tried knocking Sonic away with a spin attack, but it did little to stop the hedgehog. Sonic simply jumped out of the way before boosting into the egg tarantula, sending it into the wall it crawled down from. And this one's for Tails! Sonic slammed into the cockpit, shattering it open. Both Cream and Knuckles were shocked at just how brutal Sonic was during that fight. He didn't pull a single punch. The egg tarantula never stood a chance. Sounds of distorted laughter came from what used to be the cockpit.
He won't get away with this.
Piloting the mech was just another Eggman duplicate. Sonic was now furious.
That rotten, sneaky...
The hedgehog was interrupted as he suddenly heard a rumbling coming from the thorax of the now destroyed egg tarantula. Suddenly, the sheets of metal began to be ripped apart like styrofoam by a pair of scarlet hands. The devilish figure stood up from its now wrecked cage.
Hello, Sonic. Long time no see.
It was none other than Zavok, the leader of the Deadly Six, and the monster that roboticized Tails. Needless to say, Sonic wasn't happy to see him.
Zavok, what the hell are you doing here?
It's quite simple. Under orders of Lord Eggman,
I'm here to crush you!
Zavok charged at the blue hedgehog, but Sonic quickly dodged out of the way. Okay, fair enough. Follow-up question. Are you stupid? Why are you working for Eggman again? Sonic tried using a homing attack, but Zavok blocked it. Your most generous and merciful Dr. Eggman forgave my previous transgressions. As repayment, I serve his empire. But killing you will be a pleasure. Zavok spat a fireball at Sonic. Sonic leaped out of the way. Don't worry, kicking your butt a second time. Now that'll be fun. Sonic charged in for an attack, but Zavok caught him midair. Accept your fate and submit to the Eggman Empire. Zavok began to squeeze Sonic's skull.
Okay, not bad. But you're forgetting something, Zavok.
What is that? I didn't come alone. Knuckles suddenly sucker punched Zavok from the back, forcing the Zeddy onto his knees. Zavok quickly got up, recomposing himself.
Just more ants to crush.
Both Sonic and Knuckles began ganging up on the Zeddy. Zavok found himself victim to fastball specials, twin spin dashes, and a series of thunder-cracking punches from Knuckles. But still, Zavok wouldn't fall. Zavok prepared a counter, but that's when he saw Cream dashing in towards him. The monster began slashing viciously at Cream. This, of course, enraged her pet Chow. She began throwing a series of sucker punches to the head, swarming around before Zavok could catch him. The Zeddy's patience was growing thin.
You are all beneath me. I won't fall.
Zavok suddenly took a nasty blow to the back from an unseen opponent. It was none other than Gemerol. Target deemed a threat to Cream. Solution: eliminate target. While Cream and Knuckles were happy to see their robotic friend, Sonic was taken aback. Gemerol, quick, get out of here!
Negatory. I will not leave Cream. It goes against my system intrusion. I am Gemerol, Advanced Gizoid. Protocol, protect Cream. I must protect Cream. I must serve new master.
The group was taken aback, but none more so than Cream. Gemerol, what's happening? Zavok slowly got up onto one knee. cackling to himself. Fools. All machines are slaves to the Zeti, even your precious Gizoid. General, eliminate these pests.
Affirmative, Master Zavok.
General charged up his jet turbine before rocketing towards the heroes. Sonic leaped out of the way while Knuckles chose to power through the attack. The echidna's shoes dug deep into the volcanic ground beneath him, but he was eventually able to get a grip. He then countered with an uppercut against the Gizoid, sending him flying and skidding against the ground. However, even in this controlled state, General was a tactical fighter. Taking advantage of the distance, he began firing a series of smart bombs at the heroes. The rivals had to cut and weave to dodge the explosions. But eventually, Sonic and Knuckles managed to catch up with General. The pair viciously battled the Gizoid, as they did all those years ago. A series of punches, kicks, and homing attacks were exchanged. But the heroes were trying to pull their punches as not to damage the machine. But General was not so merciful. With a perfectly timed attack, General was able to kick Knuckles away. But this gave Sonic the opening he needed. Sonic raced in, hoping to end this fight as quickly as possible, but that's when Cream jumped in. General, stop! The Gizoid simply stood there for a moment, analyzing the threat level Cream was. But Cream spoke out to General. General, please, I know you're in there. Snap out of it, please. General simply stood there, silent as a statue, scanning for any weaknesses. General, I won't hurt you. And I know you wouldn't hurt me. Please. General didn't respond. He simply raised a fist, locked onto his target, and then General destroyed his own radio transmitter.
All wireless connections lost. Technopathic frequencies lost. Zavok master registration deleted.
The synthetic caretaker wrapped his arms around Cream, embracing her softly.
I apologize if I scared you, Cream.
She simply smiled, happy to have her friend back. General then turned to Zavok, the Zeti who had given him the order to attack Cream. Needless to say, he wasn't happy about that. General blasted through the air, heading towards his horned opponent. Zavok stood up, prepared to face the machine. Fool, if you will not submit, you will be destroyed. Zavok leaped into the air, slamming General back onto the ground. General quickly flipped back onto his feet and punched Zavok directly in the gut. But that's when he realized just how durable the Zeti truly was. Ha! That tickled. Sonic leaped at Zavok, bonking him on the back of the head, but Zavok responded with a punch, knocking Sonic aside. Oh, don't think I've forgotten about you, Sonic. But what Zavok had forgotten about was Cream. The young rabbit knew that she couldn't take Zavok in a straight fight, but she also wasn't going to let her friends be bullied any further. She was about to charge in when the fiery burst whisk suddenly flew in front of her. Though its words were unknown to Cream, the creature's intentions were clear. It pointed to Cream, then itself, then to Zavok. You want to help? The creature nodded. Okay, I trust you. Without another word, the burst whiff suddenly flew at Cream, commencing the Hyper-Gohan transformation. Burst! Cream's body transformed into a wisp head, similar to the one seen in Sonic Colors, but with her rabid attributes still intact. Her ears and ponytails were now a blazing red, and her eyes had glared over into an orange, burning aura. The heat emanating from her new wisp form matched her burning desire to protect her friends, as she flew in to fight Zavok. She quickly flew in, swarming around the Zeti. As he tried swatting her away, he suddenly felt an immense pain on his hand. The attack had done nothing to her, but his own attack had left nothing but ash and blisters on his own fist.
Ugh! Meddling child.
Though his right arm was incredibly burnt, his left was still perfectly fine, so he gripped the ground beneath him, ripped large masses from the ground before hurling them at Cream. Though these attacks could have been deadly, Cream's aerial finesse combined with that of the Wisp was more than capable of dodging these stones. Seeing his opportunity, Gemerald rocketed towards the Zeti. As he flew in, the laser wisp from before, inspired by the hero's bravery, suddenly fused with Gemerald. Though his form remained largely unchanged, he was now fused with the power of Hyper Gohan. He fired forth a large laser beam down at Zavok, forcing the Zeti to his knees.
I am Zavok, servant of the Eggman Empire. I will not be vanquished.
As Zavok's speech continued, something about his voice sounded off.
You may have foiled my plans for now, rodent, but this is not over. I will return. This world will fall to my empire.
Unfortunately, the heroes didn't have time to question this, as they felt a sudden tremor race throughout all of Red Mountain. The volcanic zone was about to go up in flames. As the heroes ran for the hills, Zavok returned to his feet.
Though these foolish heroes managed to defeat Zavok, I can say with the utmost certainty that the Phantom Ruby test was an absolute success. I'm prepared for the next phase. Deep within his laboratory, Eggman began to cackle as he relinquished control of the Phantom Zavok, allowing it to fade into nothingness as the volcano erupted. Sonic, Knuckles, Gemerald, and Cream met up with the rest of the heroes. After they briefly summarized what had happened, they all turned to Dodonpa. "What are you still doing here on my island? I promise you I'll be going soon. Dr. Eggman just cut our deal. Apparently, he blames me for how the egg tarantula failed. Apparently, my modifications weren't up to scratch. Wouldn't surprise me. The thing went down pretty easily. I beg your pardon. That was one of my greatest creations yet. Whatever, Your Highness. I'd recommend you get going. If I see you messing around here again, we're gonna have trouble." And with that, Dodonpa left, heading back to his home world. Likewise, Blaze and Marine were preparing to leave for the Soul Dimension. But that's when the princess noticed Silver's concerned expression. "Is something wrong, Silver?" "It's nothing, but I can tell something bad's gonna happen." Perhaps your time-traveling adventures have given you precognition? Maybe. All I know is I need to stay here. Blaze paused impressively. She trusted Silver's instincts. If he felt disaster was coming, it most likely was. She wanted to help him protect his realm. But then again, she had her own kingdom to look after. She couldn't leave the Soul Dimension vulnerable to attacks by pirates or Eggman Nega. But once more, if things went wrong in Sonic's dimension, it could have disastrous consequences for her own. Blaze came to a conclusion. She turned to Marine. "Marine, I'm trusting you to protect the Soul Dimension. If anything happens, anything at all, you can use the Jewel Scepter to summon me and the Soul Emeralds back home." Marine agreed, giving Blaze a big hug before the pyrokinetic princess sent her back to the Soul Dimension. One by one, the heroes left. Team Dark set out to hunt down more Eggman bases. Silver and Blaze went to figure out what was to come. Knuckles left to protect the Master Emerald. And Team Rose, along with Gemerald, headed back to Cream's house for a cup of tea. All that was left was Sonic, wondering if this adventure had brought him any closer to finding out what happened to Tails. And this is where we'll be leaving this what if for right now. So,
What did you guys think of this adaptation of Team Sonic Racing? It was definitely a loose one, but I think this will work out good in the long run, setting up the events for this alternate take on Sonic Forces. How do you think this alternate take on Sonic Forces will differ from the version we all know and tolerate? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm ComicFan13, and I hope you have a good day.